How are you guys doing? Oh. Hi everyone, my name is Renat. I'm co-founder of Etherisc protocol, and here's Joel.
Hi.
Joel is a developer of Hurricane Guard, and together our teams are building hurricane insurance for Puerto Rico. And we wanted to share you a story that began when Joel and we met in San Juan. We're talking about the Ethereum ecosystem in Puerto Rico, and we realized that there is one of the products being built on Etherisc could potentially be ported and turned into an insurance and solution to a big problem. So here you can see a quote from one of the people. This is taken from Facebook public board. Insureds are really in a weak position against insurance companies. And it's the reverse of what we here in America get used to, right? Insurance, getting the payment from insurance company, by default, the assumption is that you're guilty. You need to ask and you need to prove. So insurance companies holding the funds, they're literally in some cases taking the people hostage and requiring them to sue them, to bring law firms. And how many people do you think have the power, money, connections to really go and successfully defend themselves and get the money out of insurance companies? So that is the problem that we're solving. And at Etherisc, we have over 20 products being built, and some of them are in idea stage, some of them are in production. One of the products, Fly Delay Insurance, went live on testnet in September 2016 before DEF CON in Cancun, and now Hurricane Guard Insurance is the next to go live, and it's being deployed on testnet. We can show you how it works. As a community, we enable individual developers to earn fair share of value, regardless of age, wealth, or connections, where a 20-year-old from China, for example, could earn 3% of revenue insurance company in the US. And that is enabled by common infrastructure, templates, and licenses that are being rented to this group of developers, where the insurers that are renting the license, that are not touching revenue or profits. And these are all belong to the developers who decide how to spend the profits, what fees to charge. And it all started with the Fly Delay Insurance, developed and launched on mainnet. Now it's live product. Every time someone buys this product from fdd.etherisc.com, government of Malta receives a cut. So every time smart contract sells insurance, they get a cut because they're regulated. And when we launched it for DEF CON in Cancun, 77 developers bought their policies. 5 flights were delayed. They automatically received payout because we monitored API or flight stats, the reports on the bad events. And after all payouts were made, we looked into smart contract, and there were 3 Ether remaining, but there were no one to pay anymore. That was the first underwriting profit generated by a decentralized insurance company, where developers, the keepers, decide where to send the money in addition to the fees they already received from the revenue. So we decided to enable the group of engineers from Puerto Rico to bring the same product and port it to a hurricane risk. And we devised the concept of making the product solve one of the biggest problems, which is the payouts for Hurricane Maria claims. Many of them still have not go out, many of them still being assessed, and that is one of the reasons that people leave the island, because they don't have cash to get a new roof, get a generator, buy diesel. All of that you need to pay now. But the claim payment, if you receive one, it probably will be 6-12 months from now. So what do you do? So unless you have saved money for a bad day, but 1 in 5 Americans has 0 money set aside for unexpected events. So that is an example of a poverty trap that can not just interrupt an individual, but can deprive an individual from sending kids to college where you have no roof. What do you choose, right? So when someone is on the street and didn't go to college this year, they're probably not going to be able to do it years later. So this is a big social problem. And we find ways to solve it. And this is what this product, Hurricane Guard, offers, which is fast payouts and full transparency. And in addition to covering the loss of or damage of property, it can cover loss of income or revenue. So if someone lost a job or a restaurant doesn't get traffic anymore, then this is a part that can be protected. So how does it work? Maybe Joel, you kick in and explain what you've done with the flight delay to make it hurricane insurance.
Sure. So working with the Etherisc smart contracts for flight delay, we ported them to the specific situation for hurricane insurance, in which we've been through the process of understanding what are the best data sources to trigger the parametric insurance. We landed on some sources for some actual sources from the government, from NOAA, and we basically triggered payouts according to the atmospheric event. So if the hurricane passed over your house, over your location, then according to the category of the hurricane and the premium you paid, well, then that's the payout you're gonna get. So we really wanted to do it as easy as possible for people to get a payout as soon as possible, because we really saw the problem for people just.
So common question people ask me, I will ask you, because some people think, so how do people will get the payout technically?
Oh, so basically the payout is triggered through smart contracts. So basically in the Ethereum.
But how will money get to, let's say, my account if I'm a customer?
So if you're a customer, basically you can pay either two ways. You could pay on fiat or you can pay with Ether. So we support.
But the payout from after the event.
Oh, it's triggered from the data sources.
And how does it arrive to my account?
So how do?
Yeah, the transfer wise.
Okay, yeah. So it's just basically a bank account transfer. Yeah. Yes. So basically, if you paid with fiat, we calculate the exact premium and the payout you're gonna get. So if the event gets triggered, that gets triggered through the smart contracts through an oracle, and then basically either if you paid with Ether, you'll get a payout in Ether, or if you paid with fiat, you'll get a payout in fiat. It'll just go straight to your bank account. Real simple.
Yeah, we have a link to a website. We can show you a real demo, how it works now. When they're gonna launch?
So we hope to launch for this season. We're almost there. Our contracts are on testnet right now. We're just doing some audited stuff and just closing some ends, so we can just get it to the people hopefully by June. We're doing everything possible to get it there.
And what is the source of data for Trigger?
Yeah, so the source of data, it's been a really interesting process of just exploring the different data sources that we are using. But one of the main things we found out was that there's not really very good data for the Caribbean and specifically Puerto Rico. So there's a lot of companies who provide good weather observation data from the East Coast to the Gulf Coast, but they don't have the infrastructure in place to do observations from hurricane force winds. So a lot of problems we saw was that the actual government weather sources they went down. So let's say for different weather stations during the atmospheric event, they went down. So there was no observation. So how could we trigger policies without having the observation? So it's been a very interesting process of just how we get the data sources and the models to realize that a hurricane passed over you and that your payout should be executed.
And here's the demo, how it works. The product will be sold directly and through distribution channels where people will protect their loans. When they get a loan through a bank, they will have a checkbox so that the bank credits them for 6 months worth of principal and interest payments, protecting the balance. So this is the demo for the direct-to-consumer model where different businesses, organizations in Puerto Rico, they could white label it and offer it to their tenants, to their members, customers. Customers will select the payout. Then they register.
So it's important for the map is not showing there, but
yeah, its map is coming up in here, but they need to confirm that this is their residence. We may ask them to confirm by uploading some document to make sure that they're not doing gambling and they're really at this address. Then you select the payment method, you pay, and after you confirm, you get the certificate of insurance that will arrive to your email address. And the policy is activated if you register few, let's say after the season started, then the coverage will start 30 days or 15 days after. So you cannot get coverage when you know when there is a hurricane. And the risk will be taken by the reinsurance companies, just like typical insurance companies in Puerto Rico. 80% of risk is reinsured, so they're not technically taking any risk. And there are plenty of buyers for catastrophe risk out there who want to submit bids to diversify their portfolio with risks from other regions, other risks of other types. Can we get our slide, and we will show what, and we will wrap up, yeah. So as a result, decentralized insurance, where individual developers build a product and decide themselves between the group whether to start a company and maybe raise funding and scale around the world, whether to keep receiving the funds directly to their account as individuals and report pay taxes as individual persons. This is how technically the organization collaboration work. The common infrastructure records the risk. Each risk, each policy is ERC 721 token, where a pool, effectively any owner of that ERC 721 owning a share of the pool receives reinsurance premium to their Ethereum account, or if it's their regular reinsurance company, it's a wire transfer that get a part of the premiums. The rest of the premiums are split between the workers. Can we, yeah, right here on this slide. So we have keepers, the guys like Joel and Jonathan, like Giancarlo. They decide how much fee to take from a revenue. So they may decide 10%, 25% that will be sent directly to their accounts from revenue. Just to give you an idea, Lloyd's of London, for every dollar that all of us send to them, they only return back 49 cents. That's for 2016. So as long as all of our fees and the reinsurance premiums will be less than 51%, it will be cheaper than getting similar policy from Lloyd's of London. As a result, the keepers get to keep the transaction fees and anything remaining in the risk pool, like the 3 Ether from flight delay insurance, right? Joel, Jonathan, they decide where to send it back, maybe to send it to their own accounts. So hope is for Puerto Rico, we will put fees as little as possible, and if markets in other countries, distributors pick it up, then the fees for them will pay for all the development, and we're going to be helping Joel, Jonathan, and other guys, anyone who wants to join this new insurance company, join up. And we will be making decision how to scale it, and we already have distributors interested in selling it, including in Puerto Rico. One distributor has over 400,000 customers that are getting loans, and these loans will have hurricane protection, so the lenders will receive credit. They put the credit on the customer's account, and so the customers with this insurance paying $5 a month premium will not have to pay for 6-month principal and interest. So, yes, thank you very much. Looking forward to connect with you. If anyone wants to get involved in the project, it's open governance. Anyone can come in and earn a fair share of value, regardless of age, wealth, and connections. Thank you very much.
Thank you.